Hey everybody, it's GoblinX and welcome back to another premiere draft of Final Fantasy, which is surprising for a multitude of reasons, but also very exciting. I'm super happy to hop back into this set. It's my favorite set of the year so far, and yeah, I'm excited to hop back into a sweet draft format. Without further ado, let's talk about the draft a little bit here. I'm just going to take Emperor of Palmecia. Blue-red was one of the strongest archetypes in this set, and the Emperor of Palmecia is a great build around and payoff for that strategy, helping ramp a tier 4 mana and greater non-creature spells, as well as being the huge finisher when you cast a bunch of them. Now, Thunder Magic is also really good in general and quite good in that deck, so that's a reasonable pick too. But I'm going to take the Emperor here. Now, I will say a little bit here. It's only been 3 days since the launch of Through the Omen Paths at the time of recording this video, at the time that they brought these flashback drafts on. That's the first surprising part of the fact that we get to draft this set again. This is the fastest they've ever started a flashback draft season. So it feels like Wizards is just 100% okay with just kind of pushing Through the Omen Paths to the side and letting people draft other sets, which I'm perfectly okay with. Through the Omen Paths has not been the greatest. It's a smaller set with only 5 archetypes, and the color balance hasn't been the best, which means that it's a smaller set that it really feels like there's only realistically 2 very good decks, 2 okay decks, 1 very bad archetype, and then, you know, the non-supported decks, the times you open a great black-white rare and then try to build something there. So I have not loved that set, and I'm very happy to be drafting some other stuff. But the other thing about it is it really does feel like Wizards doesn't care about trying to force people to play Through the Omen Paths, because there's no Arena Direct or Arena Open for Through the Omen Paths scheduled yet, but they're bringing back Modern Horizons 3 for an Arena Open. Also, the Pro Tour that just happened was not Spider-Man limited, it was Edge of Eternities limited, even though Spider-Man was the newest set. It kind of feels like they are just gonna have that be a purely casual draft format for people who want to collect those cards, and just not really focus on it in terms of something to be grinding out and trying to play super competitively at all, or even to be trying to like win booster boxes off of or anything like that. So if they're happy to push it to a side, if they're happy to push it aside, I'm perfectly happy to push it aside. I'll probably still be doing some of those drafts, do like 50-50 between flashbacks and Through the Omen Paths for a little bit here. But it seems like the general consensus is nobody really cares about Through the Omen Paths. Views are down a lot across the board, not just on my channel, but for everybody. So I guess we get to start flashback draft season really early. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, let me know in the comments below if you really want to see more Through the Omen Paths. I do. Wow, that's a late Arden. I do still want to do some more of them for any of you that do care about the newest set, but the way that Wizards is rolling out the events, it kind of feels like, well, who is gonna care? Feels like the only reason to really be drafting it would be building your collection, which isn't something that I care about at all. There's, again, currently no plans for an Arena Open or a Win-a-Box or anything of it, so the competitive players don't care. It's not the most fun draft format, so the people that just play for fun aren't really going to care too much. I don't know. It's a strange world we live in. And it's a strange draft we live in. Let's get back into actually talking about the picks. So we just took the best cards for the blue-red spells archetype when there wasn't anything really good in the pack outside of those. Just to follow up with our Emperor of Palmecia. That's what I did while I was just jabbering on and on. Then we got a pick for Arden. And Arden is very strong. 8 mana is a lot, but there are some really good controlling strategies and ramping strategies that can make it to 8 mana, as well as a couple ways you could reanimate Arden. So because we've started deep on blue, and now we got a really good blue draw spell rare, we're gonna be one of the controlling strategies that's trying to survive till we hit 8 mana by countering a bunch of spells, destroying a bunch of creatures, just keeping control of the game long enough to survive till 8 mana and then have Arden come in and finish things off. So I'm going to take Memories Returning here, although Sephiroth's Intervention, incredible removal spell, obviously iconic artwork, iconic moment as well, but not quite the power of that Memories Returning, and we're deeper into blue, so we'll take that. Pick 6, Scorpion Sentinel's fine, early filler. 4 toughness off of a 2 mana play is a good defensive start to the game. I don't think Namazu Trader would be terrible in this pile either. Treasure token that provides can help get to Arden a tiny bit earlier. Also, if we do go like all three of these colors, blue, red, and black, then the dual land would be really helpful. I generally do prefer to do just 2 color decks in most draft formats, and this one as well. So I'm just going to take the Scorpion Sentinel here. Pick 7. Now we're on to mostly filler. I think the best card here is actually just Farseek for ramping up in a green deck. But I don't think I want to end up green-blue with this collection of cards so far. Or just take like a Light of Judgment, which would be perfectly reasonable for blue-red. Not exciting, not a super high pick. It's one of the less efficient removal spells, but at least it does still trigger your Emperor of Palamecia. It does still blow up basically whatever you need to blow up. Pick 8 now. Blitzball can help get to that Arden early and fix our colors if we do anything splashy or 3-colored. Sure. Pick number 9. Ring of the Lucy. Doesn't give us any color mana. It's all colorless, but another way to maybe get up to the Arden. I actually really don't mind the Eyes Flan as well. Yeah, I think I'd rather take that here. Nothing much. Pick 10. I mean, that's a pretty late town greeter. I'll speculate on that. More ice. Fate of the Suncrist is not a bad card either. There's also Grixis Duel. Let's take Grixis Duel. Syncopate and the Queen? Oh my god. I think I take Syncopate. I'm like 100% locked in on blue. There's maybe 50% on red here. Ether can be funny in this deck, and Laughing Mad can be okay in it, but both are often gonna get cut. Barret. It's a shame Barret's not very good. Fire Magic is very good for the blue-red control. But we also have the Swallowed by Leviathan, again being just super, super deep on the blue over anything else. Makes that a very flexible pick. Side quest Hunt the Mark is super good to play into the Arden. Really good for a controlling deck that's casting a bunch of removal. Keep getting more treasure tokens. The treasure tokens ramp into the Arden. Or this is a 2-for-1 of being removal plus a creature. Actually, I really love Hunt the Mark. And the way the draft's been going so far, we probably wheel one of these 2 cards. I guess the rest of the pack wasn't that good, so there's a chance we don't, but I think it's impossible that we wheel the Hunt the Mark. I think black is more contested than blue or red. We have a fine start here. It's still early. We're just starting the second pack. Why did I have to open multiple Mega Bombs in this pack? Jesus, I want to just take Circle of Power, because, you know, the draw 2 plus a Wizard token. Super good for, like, blue-black control, but Saz? Just a bajillion points of damage all by himself. And a 2-for-1 when you play him. Or Najila, Cloud Strife. Get a Warrior every time this thing attacks. So 3 mana, 3/2, make your creature every time it attacks. What an insane pack. I think I have to just take Saz. This card is completely backbreakingly good. And we got a really late Town Greeter pack one, so green's certainly not the most contested color. It might not be the most open color either, but open enough to play a couple cards with Saz. Pick 3. Wandering Minstrel's on color, but doesn't actually really do anything. Unless I try to draft every single town and play a full 5 color, but that's not a particularly good thing. This pack is quite bad overall. Gigantode is super filler. Rook Turret's quite bad. Like, the best cards are White Mage's Staff, Rydia, Shinra Reinforcements. I don't think our deck is the kind of deck that cares about almost any of those cards. It could end up caring about Shinra Reinforcements. Or it's the blue-black Self-Mill Arden pile. That was kind of an awkward pack, though. There's a Sephiroth's Intervention now. Hmm. The Saw's pick is not looking incredible. I mean, what if I just like cut Town Greeter in the red and I just blitzball out of Saws sometimes? Doesn't look great, but it looks possible. I also have treasure tokens off side quest. Might be able to get one of those Namazus here. Ooh, Black's open. Xenos. This card's absurd. Particularly great when you're against a really aggressive deck. This is a huge way to stabilize at that point. You play this, you pick their one creature that's bigger than 2 toughness, and then -2, everything else. And then you also have a 4/4 left around to trade into their card. And if you manage to kill the card that's left over after the -2/2, then boom, you have an 8/8 flyer. You probably win very quickly from there. Xenos is wild. Very happy with that. Final Days is not going to be good here. Our creature count's going to be quite low. Really looking for more removal-y stuff, but there's no removal-y stuff in the pack. We could take a world map to help get to Saws off the splash. Or to red cards in general. Just take a Town Greeter and try to end up deeper in green with that also. I don't think I want to be there when I've got like really good double blue cards and stuff. Let's take the flan. There's a Thunder Magic. Great Sword, not really good here. Better for the creature heavy decks. Yeah, the red splash could still be a thing instead of the green splash. That way we get more interaction instead. Splash in Light of Judgment and Thunder Magic. Probably not Emperor of Palamecia, but there's a chance. Dreams of Laguna is fantastic here. Another Blitzball actually does look pretty reasonable, but the treasure token off the Dire Rat as well is helpful. I'm very low on creatures. Actually go Dire Rat over the Blitzball. World map or a merchant. Take the merchant here, way to filter through our draws. Draw a card, discard some red card that we're splashing and we don't currently have the mana for. In a way, kind of helps the splash too. Now we'll take a world map. My City Elder, Monk's Fist, and Ring of the Lucy. I'll take the ring over the Monk's Fist. Card's not great. Another world map. Alright, pack 3. We got a Fire Magic for potential board wipe against those aggressive strategies. We have both a Fire Magic off the splash and a Xenos in the main color. Looks great for a controlling deck that's trying to hit 8 mana. I like that. I also like Resentful Revelation. Great draw spell that also fills the graveyard, so it's really good with flashback cards and graveyard abilities. We have the graveyard ability of Arden, if nothing else. The flashback with Quistis, the flashback with Dreams of Laguna, the flashback with Memories Returning. Close between Fire Magic and Revelation. I think I'm going to commit to the red splash and take the Fire Magic here. Just splash in 3 pieces of red interaction. Now, another Thunder Magic, a Swallowed by Leviathan, a Cornered by Black Mages, and Ice Magic. This is a really good pack. Got double Syncopate. Less ways to deal with cards that have already resolved, but I do have Intervention, Hunt the Mark, Fire Magic, Thunder Magic, Light of Judgment. Not like super low on ways to interact with those. Actually, don't really think I prefer Cornered by Black Mages here. It's like Swallowed by Leviathan or Thunder Magic. I think our red splash is not the easiest still. I'll take the Swallowed by Leviathan. There's a Heck Dies for an early blocker. Early trumper that gets a card out of our opponent's hand. Perfectly fine. Sahagin looks pretty good in this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, At least 9 cards that trigger it. Combat Tutorial is good too. Drawing extra cards digging towards the bombs of Arden or Xenos. Sahagin is such thick stuff for the cost, though. I'm taking Sahagin. Another Syncopate. Sorceress's Schemes off the splash. This card is deceptively great. Edgar. We're not a good Edgar deck. We've got 3 artifacts total and just a couple treasure producers. Blue-white Edgar can actually be pretty nice top end. Draw you a ton of cards when you play him. Believe we're just on Syncopate here. Sadly. Another Fire Magic. But we haven't found any more dual lands towards the red. Really don't want to make the red splash deeper. So yeah, Wyvern or Swallowed by Leviathan. Take the Wyvern here. I feel lower on ways to clutter the board and slow things down than I am on counters. I'm on 4 counters already. Guess back's just bad. Now. A lot of Wyverns. If I just do Thunder Magic, Fire Magic, Blitzball. I can drop the Merchant here. Oh, Wield and Ice Magic, let's go. It's very helpful. Honestly, now the splash is only for Fire Magic, Thunder Magic. Just drop it entirely. It's 23 card, blue-black. Playing the Blitzball and the Ring to get to the Arden. Nobody wanted the Edgar. Interesting. I don't think we want it either. But maybe if we still want to play Blitzball and Ring, then another 6-drop is not the craziest. I'm certainly not in love with the idea of these Shinra reinforcements without any graveyard recursion. And we had opportunities to take Fight on, but I think that card is not very good. If we're a less creature-heavy deck, we certainly will be. I could just cut 2 Shinra reinforcements and call it a deck. But we also have the option splashing in a bit of red here over the most filler cards. So we have 3 artifacts: Scorpion Sentinel, Blitzball, and the Ring. And then for treasure providers, we only have 1 thing that makes treasure tokens. This side quest. Edgar feels pretty bad in here. Feels like at the bare minimum we swap Edgar out for something. And then if I swap just 1 more card out outside of Edgar, then we can splash in 2 red burn spells. Just the filleriest 2-drop creature. I kind of prefer Diorat over Hectize in this deck, weirdly. Because it can like trade into a 2/2 and leave a treasure towards getting to the higher stuff quicker. I just don't love that this basically never trades into something, it's just going to chomp. I mean, it always trades into one of their cards in hand, right? It makes them discard a card out of their hand. But I think I'm more worried with my early plays about the tempo, about slowing their on-board presence down, and Hectize doesn't really slow them down on board very much. It hinders their card advantage, its hand disruption. Yeah, I think I want to cut these for just more ways to impact the board state, clear things out. So Fire Magic for sure, and then 1 of Thunder Magic. Yeah, and I like how Thunder Magic plays with like Blitzball. Side quest as well. Play that, get a treasure, Thunder Magic. Play this, have a mana of any color, Thunder Magic. Also good with Quistis. Maybe 4 mana Quistis, 3 to play, 1 to flashback. In the right spot. Alright. Nice little Grixis control deck here, trying to survive till we can cast a Xenos or an Arden and just win off of these mega bomb scary nobles. It's like a very cool controlling deck for the return to Final Fantasy, and we'll see how it plays out. We hop into the gameplay. Alright, here we are on the draw for game number 1. We've got all 3 colors in the opening hand, which is pretty perfect. Some cheap interaction, cheap card draw, cheap threats, and some mana ramp. Beautiful looking hand. Double Dragoon's Wyvern in the hand. I am not going to interact with the Sabbatender. I'll have multiple 1/1 heroes flying around to trade into it. And we're much more a control deck than an aggro deck, so I wouldn't even mind if I trade the flyer down into the 2/1 on the ground. Just to slow them down and buy us time. Just gonna pass through here. They are Rakdos, red and black. A lot of ping damage in that archetype, where they can damage us without even attacking. A lot of black mage token style cards. That's a great draw. I'll hunt the mark for later. Here's multiple blockers for Sabbatender to keep that thing off of us. Gaius make us sack the Wyvern, but that's fine. Oh, they made us sack the token. Interesting. That's kind of a weird way to do it. Oh, right, because if they make us sack the non-token, then they'd also have to sack a non-token. Never mind. I forgot how that card worked. Now I understand why they played it the way they did. I'm actually going to run out the Dire Rat here. I can hold up an Ice Magic alongside it, and it trades into Gaius. Namazu Trader. Get a treasure token, have a 4 toughness, chunky friend. Pass through. Blitzball is the draw. Hunt that trader. Work our way towards flipping this into the big non-flying dragon. Yasmat. Marlborough. Very, very good card here. Did you just hit 3 straight gas spells? Yeah, 2 of our 3 bomb rares just got exiled and a removal spell. Those are some incredible mills. Well, that's tragic. Our best rare is still in the deck. Arden is still in there somewhere. The reverse side quests, very good. There he is. Oh my god, is that legit the mana off the treasure? That is. If I could somehow get in a position where I have Ice Magic up after casting him, I would love that. pick up Namazu Trader and then sack Dire Rat? This might be a little overkill, but... that seems solid to me. I guess I'm gonna draw 2 Syncopates. This was the issue with drawing the Syncopates, is that now can't replay Arden, so I need a land or a treasure. But if I protect our 5/5 with Syncopates, then they just can't attack in. Syncopate Kuja. It's a shame this only triggers during our end step. Like, I can't fire magic Gaius and get a treasure. So I'd have to do it at sorcery speed if I want the treasure, which I do. Okay, their end step triggers already happened. I can pop both of those. It's worth it. It's worth it to do it my turn for the treasure. Still have a little syncopate up. Probably. Now, no matter what I top deck, I could hardcast an Arden next turn. Unless I have to syncopate for 4. Okay. Go to 6. Their last card is Sephiroth's Intervention. I do cry about it. So I should flan first. It is an instant. Suplex the ring to keep us off Arden, sure. And pass. 1 mana off Arden again. Oh, the recast of that would be devastating. 1, 2, 3, 4. Syncopate on 5. Last card in their hand. It's called a Mountain Chocobo. So they had the limit break, not a Sephiroth's intervention when I was worried about that for Arden, so we could have just won earlier if I replayed Arden earlier. But now, oh right, I still need one more mana to do it. Now we'll be able to replay him a lot safer. So we'll still be fine if they just top deck a land here. Syncopate on 3. Okay, here's the problem with Syncopate on 3. I won't have the mana for Dreams of Laguna after that. And Dreams of Laguna is the only way to know that I draw a land next turn. If I don't draw the land for Arden next turn and I tap out for the Syncopate, I take 3 from this bird if that's a land in their hand, and then another 3 the turn after and I'm dead. So I think I have to Dreams of Laguna and let this happen. Okay. Found the land. Pick up Gaius here. Looks safest. Floun's also pretty safe. Gaius is just better. Oh, he's a token. I'm dumb. Should have been the plan for sure. Oh, that might cost us the game if they top deck the removal here. That's so funny. Why did I think he was a non-token? I'm just like, yeah, I reanimate him and he's a 5/5. No, I exile him and make a token version. I'm not technically reanimating the actual card. That was such a bad play. Thank goodness, though, we're fine. Quistis of Fire Magic. Just because I'm terrified? Sure. Get rid of their last card in hand. Whoa. Did everything in my power to lose this game. But thankfully, Arden is just absurd. Death Toucher, but does not help against the Menace. One last bit of digging for them. And it is not enough. Arden absolutely takes it for us. We are 1-0 heading into game 2. Alright, here we are on the draw for game number 2. We certainly don't want Arden in the opening hand as the 8-drop finisher. But I cannot resist keeping this. The lack of blue mana is also an issue, but we have the Blitz Ball in the opener once we get to 2, turn number 3. And against more aggressive strategies, this Fire Magic is likely to do a lot of work. Stabilize the early game. Yep. Just soak up all the damage right now, or do we get greedy with it? think I should just stop them in their tracks here. Next turn I can blitzball and play a 2-drop. That lines up really well mana-wise. They're just out of threats for that. You love to see that. Oh, they have a flash threat. Some kind of instant here. Then a second Ambrosia? Nope. Phantom Train doesn't do anything unless they have other permanents on the board. They need other artifacts or creatures. I like the Scorpion Sentinel's ability here. It's allowing us to keep track of how close we are to Arden. Once this is at 7 out of 7, we'll have the 8 out of 8 mana for Arden because we got a Blitzball out. Ooh, Thunder Magic's a nice draw. Alright, one turn from Arden GG as the hope. I could beef the Sahagin killing that, but let's play it more defensively than that. They're black-white. These are removal-heavy colors. I don't want to say that resolving Arden is just going to end the game immediately, because they could certainly end up killing him. But there goes one removal spell. Okay. Trade's not super good, but I'm not going to find a better one. I have a really weird plan here. What if I Arden their Ambrosia and put Arden back in my hand? Play around any removal while they only have a single black up? Oh, they've got a black and a white. They could have a 2-mana removal spell here. Forgot about the Aura Sight. What a 2-mana removal I can think of. I'll get a Legend for Blitzball. Life loss card draw. They have a single black mana up. They've tapped out of any removal. So now we can play him again and just hit for 10 menace. And then it's kind of okay if he dies. He got 2 cards out and 10 damage in. Oh, I should have taken the Scorpion Sentinel probably. Like, flying is pretty good, but Scorpion Sentinel would be a... what, an 8/5? They could sack the Greatsword to the Train's ability and kill Ambrosia. Either way, I play it, they end up with a 6/6 Train. Never mind. They chose not to sack again there, I guess. Alright, so Arden's definitely dead here. We're still taking 5 a turn in the sky. Oh, pick up the white Orosite, so we get to keep a Sahagin now. Yeah. That works. Ice magic, is that creatures only? Yeah, it's creatures only. We don't have a bounce spell that can bounce Orosites in this deck, sadly. I'm in the interest of... Well, the Phantom Train would just get activated anyway. But this would be an unblockable Sahagin, so I think... No, that still is worth it. In the interest of 4 mana value non-creatures for Sahagin. I can counter this where x equals 2, and then I'd still have a Syncopate for 1 up, or I can counter this and get a counter on Sahagin. I think it's better to just get a counter on Sahagin. Since the odds of a Syncopate for 1 mattering against an opponent with 1 card in hand and 8 mana available next turn is pretty unlikely. So we'll just get the +1/+1 counter out of it. Yeah, I would have needed Syncopate for 5 on that. This is so weird. Play this and destroy nothing, because otherwise the Phantom Train blocks Sahagin. Maybe it was worth just going all in, and then trying to Syncopate my own Hunt the Mark for 2 spells there to make it exactly 5 power. Because, like, what are the odds Syncopate for 3 stops our opponent here from casting removal? And if they had it, they would have cast it last turn, so I think... Yeah, we should have just targeted our own thing. Yeah, the Syncopate won't stop that. I think I was supposed to Syncopate my own Hunt the Mark, which means I had to go full control mode. I couldn't just, like, naturally do that. I have to go the long way around. Because Arena is Arena. Uh-oh. I mean, we're still super favored here. We're generally favored in top deck wars, and I have a counterspell and 26 more life. We're still fine. I like playing that and just holding up Syncopate for Bajillion. We can save this to stun somebody. They're 1 life, so either one of these creatures is lethal. Right. Sky Boop. And that'll do it. That's going to be 2-0 heading into game 3. Mono blue opening hand for game number 3. We'll keep that. This hand definitely struggles if it misses lands, but we draw any lands in the deck and we're quite happy. White Mage's Staff to start them off. This is a slow enough hand, I probably just need to Syncopate immediately in case we miss any more land draws to buy us as much time as possible. Yup. Blue-white artifacts from our opponent can be quite aggressive, because white is a really good aggressive color. I'll play the Wyvern to have the 2-1 to trade another 3-2. Get stuff off the board here. This Choco Mog will sack itself eventually. Block the 3/3 and Fire Magic. I missed enough lands here. I think I just need the Memories returning into mana. Not bad. This might have been my 3 choices, honestly. Yeah, I'm not in a position to have time to hold up a counterspell or drop the mana rock. I think Swamp Flan would be, if I just looked at the top 3, the 3 that I'd want to pick up. I'm not chumping with this yet, because I could chump plus Fire Magic later. It's Hagen and Intervention. Or Wyvern and Dreams, or just the Flan. Oh, Jesus. Flying Vigilance. Might have to be the intervention target. And they can give anybody flying with Dragoon's Lance. I think that Lance is just going to kill us. It's one of the best uncommons in the whole set. I love playing that card. But it sucks playing against it. It's too good. Kill everybody but the 5/5 with Fire Magic. I could do it right now. If I do it right now, though, they hit me for like 7 or 8. But then I don't get to play around the counterspell. If I wait till later and try to chump and then do it. Alright, they got the counter, they got the counter. Yes. They're just spending all their mana on that. I have to do it pre-blocks anyway. One land away from a chance to win this game. They do not have the counterspell in hand, so unless they top deck it, it's better to wait till their turn and see what they equip with flying. guess it doesn't matter. Now. I guess I'll be alive. I'll be at like 1. I have to kill the 5/5 no matter where they put their stuff. Yeah, go to 1 here. I have to top deck the land to win. I did not. Oh, hold the phone. Pretty legit while they're tapped out. Ward 1. Okay. Pass with a Syncopate for 3 and Dreams of Laguna. Okay, that's not going to stop a 1-drop. That's for sure. It's really not going to stop a 1-drop. Land, 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 land. Nope. Nope. What about up the top? Nope. Oh, those were bad draws. Here's Wyvern. They have way too much mana for Syncopate to protect this. So I need them to be out of removal. And this has to chump block the lanced up creature. If they have a removal spell, we're just dead. They holding up a Syncopate now? Otherwise, I think they would have lanced, right? Man, what the heck? Now I'm gonna get syncopated anyway. Finally top decked it at the perfect time. The time that I can finally actually cast Arden. I mean, if they had it earlier, we would have lost earlier, so I don't know about the perfect time. Is there any argument in the universe not to just Arden? I have 1 single mana up after, so I don't get to Syncopate of my own. If they just had removal, they could have killed Wyvern and won the game. Could have gone... Well, it had to be 3 or less removal. White Aura Sight would work too, because that taps for 1. So I could have gone Aura Sight, Equip Lance, win. Ice Magic, Equip Lance, win. I feel like it's just Syncopate. But I don't think I have any chance against Syncopate regardless, because what, I play more creatures on the ground, they equip Lance, I have no interaction, I chump once. They keep the Syncopate up, I'm still not getting Arden through it. Yeah, I mean, this is all I got. It just has to not be Syncopate. I guess instant speed removal works too, but they could have just killed me if it wasn't... Okay, I guess they just didn't see that they had lethal. Or they wanted to, like, play around instant speed removal, I suppose. That's, like... extra bummer. That's extra bummer, because, like, we know that we literally would have just died if they just played that last turn. So I wasn't even considering that as a possibility there. Because they could have cast that for just 2 mana on the flyer. And spent the rest of the mana giving Zach flying. But we had mana up for stuff, so they had to play it safe. Or they wanted to play it safe, I should say. I only have one artifact. Definitely not the cat. Get the sentinel, gain the max amount of life, or do I get a flan? I think I get a flan. Can't choose Zac because the ward. Best trump blocker. Not holding up a syncopate for one. Does the bummer just become actually awesome that they missed lethal? Again, doesn't necessarily mean they missed it, right? They could have seen it, but then thought it was too risky against like 4 open mana or whatever we had. Gonna keep gaining a bajillion. Arden is so dumb. This is not remotely fair. I think they're dead. Yeah. Well, that was a very, very lucky game. They had... On one of those earlier turns, they could have lethaled us with Ice Magic plus Equip Flying, but they wanted to play it safe around our removal, or they didn't see the line. There's no way to really know. And so we buy just enough time to get Arden down, and Arden is just so insane that it turns even the most losing games into victories in the end. Ridiculously good card, single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, but responsible for all 3 of our victories so far. But that just shows the power of these like controlling decks that really grind things out. All of these games have ended with us like almost 3/4 of the way through our library. So when you draw like 75% of your deck in most of the games, you are a lot more likely to see your one of bomb in more games of Magic, because you see the majority of your deck in those games. So you can really build around these super, super powerful bombs in these grindy decks because they dig so far through the deck so often. Oh man. All right. I guess we are undefeated all the way to a 3-win run, at least a 3-3 at worst. With the 50-50 record at worst today. All right, we are on game number 4 now. This hand would be a little high on mana for most decks, a 4-lander to start us off. But I think this deck is quite happy with that. Grand Pulse Ochu hits the board. I'll trade that into my treasure producer. There's a Town Greeter from our green-blue opponent, green-blue being the ramp deck. As you can see from their signpost and commons, a big old robot, a ramp card with Ignis. They do not attack into the rat, so we get to hold up Syncopate and cast Dreams if we don't need to counter anything here. Okay. Dreams Laguna. Sure. Xenos looks perfectly fine. Blitzball and have a Syncopate for 1 up. Still. Actually, still don't really want a Xenos on this board. So I can see if they want to trade the rat for the Ochu. Nope. Trade do 2 damage for 2 damage for a little bit. Their own Dreams of Laguna. Fat Chocobo. Can't kill the 4/4 with Xenos, but I can kill the 2/2 token. So I can play Xenos, kill everything but the Chocobo itself, and then when that dies to the Saga ability, it'll make this an 8/8. I think we let that resolve because of how good Xenos plays against it. Fire Magic's also kind of insane on this board. If I block Chocobo with the rat, then I can Fire Magic for 2 instead. Although I did just highlight their Chocobo and my rat, so they'll probably see that that's potentially my plan here. Yeah, they're just not going to block. Fair. Get 2 damage in with the rat before it dies. Don't mind if I do. Ride as the Shoepuff. Shoepuff's waiting. So 7 mana turns into a 7/7. Every time they play a land, they get a +1/+1. Draw a couple Blitzball cards here for sure. Go! Solid to me. Counterspell. I don't need to Syncopate to save this. That's fine. One turn away from Xenos becoming an 8/8 as the Fat Chocobo sacks itself. Seven mana, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. They cannot activate that right now. Two, three, four. Nice. Oh, they only have Syncopate for 3, so I can actually pay for that. Sick. Could take 7 to the face here if they just go land and Shoepuff. But if they do that, they're tapped out. They take 8 and die. Alright, they needed to draw 2 mana interaction off that, so they needed another Ice Magic off the top. Sleep Magic for only 1. I actually have the counter to that here, which is Hopefully gonna surprise them for the kill here. So I definitely have to play the ring, because I'm gonna need to be able to tap the shoe puff to not die to that hitting for 7. So I have to go 2 mana, tap the shoe puff, and then 1 mana do 1 damage to everything to get rid of the sleep magic and then hit them for 8 out of nowhere. This falls off when this is dealt damage. But I guess I could fire magic for 3 damage to everybody. Kill the Sahagin. Shoe puff still hits me. Yep, activate the shoe puff. Crew the card. We tap the shoe puff to not die. Take the 4. And save Shinryu from sleep magic to hit them for 8. It exacts these. Harden for good measure. That is lethal. We are now 4-0 heading into game 5. Alright, here we are for game 5. We are 4-0. Means we've got a positive record of the draft no matter what. Just see if we can't keep it up. Playing against a red deck, blue-red with the turn 1 Blazing Bomb. Trying to get a blazing fast start against us. Here's Scorpion Sentinel to hold that thing off of us for quite some time. Dragoon's Wyvern. Ooh, if we draw Fire Magic, we're living the dream. This is such a good board state for it. Unfortunately, we have not found it here. Just have an Ice Magic. But we've got time to draw it. We can still cast higher tiers of it later for like 3 damage to everybody, even if that bomb gets bigger. Syncopate is not exactly fire magic. This ring's probably going to get syncopated. Still think it's our best play against this board. I really don't want to Ice Magic Wyvern. So that makes the other targets not great for Ice Magic. Unless I want to pass holding up Syncopate and just Intervention the Wyvern in the end step, which also doesn't seem great. Ring resolves. Alright, they're just mountain cycling. Another 2 damage. Ultima, big old 4/4, that's a great target for Hunt the Mark, but we don't have double black yet, we might have to Intervention. No, I could have double black and 2. That is not double black and 3. I'll be 1 mana off still, playing the Blitzball this turn. But I can play the Blitzball and the Intervention. And then have the mana that I need for Hunt the Mark in the future. I don't mind the Ice Magic here. Have them recast it next turn for now. That lets me save Intervention for once Hunt the Mark is on the board and I get a treasure off it. Cool. I mean, Wyvern's getting a lot of damage in. This is not the perfect position here, but it's not been terrible. We have some really good outs still. Obviously, if we ever draw Fire Magic, that's the best one. But just a single, like, lightning magic is fine too. Sorry, treasure token, that's a little too good to allow. Syncopate for 1 would be held up if I play the Flan. Could Intervention instead and have Syncopate for 3. And get a treasure. Alright, I guess that's where we're at now. I only have Syncopate for 4. They'd be able to pay for it and keep Shantaro. Such a good time to draw that as soon as I don't have removal. And it's exactly small enough to dodge the counter. And then I hit another counter too. Ah. What tragedy. I can stop it from hitting me, I guess, but the problem is that it's going to be drawing cards willy-nilly. Okay, thankfully they're kind of flooding here. Man, we are so lucky. Because as soon as they hit one of the 4-mana non-creature spells that flashbacks, like a Call the Mountain Chocobo, or the thing that makes robots, that's like a 4 for 1 off the top. Because each time they cast it, it'll draw a card and make a creature. Kind of at the point now we're actually just the aggro. Oh, they about to deal 3 to everybody with a fire magic off the top? Cute. Try. 3 cards in grave. I would need to surveil 1 card in grave with the Leviathan. I think I'd rather Syncopate. I guess Syncopate can be bigger than this. Yeah, sure, I just need to put at least 1 card in grave. Sure, we'll put the Flashbacker in grave. And then that works. They do get to draw the card regardless, but stopping them from blowing these up is huge. Relentless ATM. No thanks. Because that has large stats and can come back from the grave, so exiling it completely stops it. And our opponent is completely over it. We are 5-0, undefeated, all the way into the money in this draft, and all the way up into Diamond Tier 1. Now that we've got flashback drafts going on, I'm probably going to get right back into Mythic nice and quick. A little easier to play enough games to get Mythic and full-on Premier Draft instead of these tiny little baby pick 2s we've been doing. I've also been playing a lot of traditional draft, which is unranked, so that's also had our rank staying basically the same. Game 6. We're on the play against Black-White. It's one of the more aggressive strategies. Fire Magic should be really good in this matchup. And we have the rat to help us get to it. I value this treasure quite a lot right now, so I'm fine with the trade just to get the treasure. Magitech Infantry. I wouldn't hate to just fire magic that immediately. before it can pick up any other cards, but like if it does pick up any more, they'll also die to the fire magic, and then I get to soak up all of their mana for the turn. Alright. Board's nice and clear. We have the time we need to get to high enough mana to play any bombs in our deck, but we do have to draw into them. That is the issue we're having here. We have 8 lands and just one more spell now. Xenos is not bad at all, but does get better the more creatures they dump out. So we certainly play that later. There's the Aura Sight for the Flan. Xenos isn't going to give anybody -2 if I play him against just a single creature. That's another problem. Guess I'm holding up a Syncopate over playing 1/4/4 with no text. I'm not syncopating anything that dies to Xenos. I think we let them keep the vendor over the cat. It's the vendor or the cat. I think the cat is slightly more annoying. Let them keep the vendor. They have 5 mana total. I think Syncopate for 2 could still be decently valuable here. If they don't top deck a land, Syncopate for 2 is enough to stop Sephiroth's intervention. If they do, it's still enough to stop Hunt the Mark or Fate of the Suncrist. It's exactly not enough to stop Dion. God dang it. If they didn't top deck a land, we could have stopped Dion. And again, we know that's a top deck because we have not missed a land drop. We're at like 8 here. This could go really bad for our opponent because if we get the kill on that, then we get to make this an 8/8 flyer. So Syncopate to guarantee we get the kill on that. Alright, well, you lose some, you win some. That was not the worst outcome in the world. We're still definitely losing to Dion right now. Believe it or not, we have the losing board state, I think, against all these cards' abilities. Yep. Here we go. That gets to blow up Shinryu in a couple turns. That feels real bold. A little awkward. In case they have a Heck Dice, I'll hold this island. This should be enough to Syncopate anything off of just Syncopate for 7 in the first place. I guess I could Syncopate anything but a 1 mana play. If I played the island, I could Syncopate literally anything. They cast any non-creature spell, and I die to the rod trigger even if I syncopate whatever they're casting, so I do have to chump here. But, I mean, playing it this way, if Shinryu's still around, we win. That is not blocking Shinryu. What? They have a 2-mana removal spell? Man, we are so lucky our opponent played it the way they did. Where they were like, I guess playing more around like removal and stuff. Because if they played around counter spells, we were mega dead. Because that's all we had. If they just turtled up there and waited for Chapter 3 on Bahamut. But I think they wanted to play it that way because they were concerned like, well, if our opponent just top decks Hunt the Mark or Sephiroth's Intervention or something, if I just sit here and wait for Giga Flare, I'm definitely going to lose. So, like, I understand why they played it the way they did. It's just really lucky for us that they did because our hand was kind of perfectly paired against the way that they played it. They definitely had ways they could have played where they certainly would have won the game, but playing that way would have been worse if I had the Sephiroth's Intervention or Hunt the Mark off the top here. So, fair enough from our opponent. Really lucky stuff for us. 6-0 now. Heading into the final battle with 3 shots at it here. Not just 2 shots. This ain't a pick 2 draft. We got 3 attempts to get our 7th victory for maximum prize out. The return to Final Fantasy. Alright, here we are for what could be the final battle if we win this game, but we got 3 shots at it, which we might need, because this is not a great opening hand. We are gambling on the opportunity to draw an island here. If we don't draw that island, this hand scoops pretty quick. So I think I have to go down to 6 cards for the start of this game, and this is quite solid. Memory's returning to draw a bunch of cards and make up for the mulligan down a card. I might get rid of Blitzball here, but it's really good for any of the splashes we draw into. Really don't want to get rid of any creatures. I really don't want to get rid of any lands. It's a difficult mulligan choice. Like, no shot am I getting rid of Memory's returning or the lands, I think. I could get rid of the rat and just accept that I'm going to be slow, but I think I should try to go 2, 3, 4. Maybe I get rid of Wyvern? It really depends on the matchup here. I'm going to be real sad about that if they play a Plains next turn, basically. If they're any white deck, we would much rather have the Wyvern. Okay, blue-black. I think in blue-black, another slower, control-y kind of deck is probably the best cards we could have kept here. So that went out, or that worked out pretty well for us. Yeah, they're just going to sit here drawing cards for a little bit. Start casting 4-drops and putting counters on Sahagins. We got some time to set up. It's just a counter unless they pay 2, and that's if I mill both the cards that I see, so super pumped about that. Oh, Lord. Jill is fantastic. Let's slow down our mana here. Yeah, I gotta find some removal for this, because that flips into an absolute nightmare. Fire Magic works for 3 mana. Unless they flip Jill next turn to play around it. So I have problems here where if I take Ice Magic, they get rid of Fire Magic. If I take Fire Magic, they get rid of Ice Magic. I think I have to take Ice Magic, because if I take Fire Magic and they just spend next turn spending 5 to flip Jill, I have no way to kill Jill for quite some time. I'm going to take a lot of damage. But also, Ice Magic isn't even good. Oh my god. Ice Magic isn't even that good on Jill, because they just put her back on top. They get to recast her and get the ETB again. Oh, I get both! What did they get rid of? Syncopate? Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, flip Jill. And then we bounce Jill, which means they bounce the thing again, but they have to put 7 mana into Jill again, so that's fine. I think I'm okay to just put in the hand here. Well, I guess now they just get to bounce the ring instead of the rat. Doesn't even really matter. Marlboro, sure. I got extra cards to ditch. Fire Magic plus Swallowed by Leviathan up. Should probably hold the ring up. Three cards in grave. I have counter unless they pay 3 at minimum, counter unless they pay 5 at maximum. Make them show me a syncopate here by going for fire magic, deal 3 to everybody. Actually, don't even have to do it yet, because they can't flip Jill this turn. So I can untap and then do fire magic for 3 to everybody. I think I just go for it now regardless. Kill Sahagin, Jill, and Rat. Ice magic there, Jill. Fair. And Holy Lands, Batman. Swallow Jill and then casts Memories Returning. Take 1 damage a turn, tapping things with Ring. No, I'm not countering that. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana, 9 for this, and still have Swallowed by Leviathan up. Yes. Oh my god, these are good draws. I think I need the removal that turns into a creature more than I need the life gain removal, but they're certainly going to get rid of the life gain removal. And then I get the Flan. These are such good draws. Oh, they're getting rid of the Flan. Sure. Take the life gain removal then instead. Which I'll almost definitely need, because actually at the point now, I can't really counter Jill, because I just got rid of a card in grave, so I have counter unless they pay 6. So if they play a basic for turn and then play Jill, they'll have the 6 up. Dreams Laguna, sure. Combat tutorial. Draw another 2 and make that a 5/5. I don't hate countering that, but I think I still let it happen. With Hunt the Mark, caring about the treasure a good chunk. That I think I will swallow. Hello, Arden. While they're tapped out. That seems like a win to me. Five, 6, 7, 8. So take a Sahagin. I don't really want to bounce a Marlboro and let them recast for the ability. Side quest Hunt the Mark. Yep. Two cards left in their hand. They need another removal spell to be ahead here. I guess not even ahead. They need another removal spell to be stable here. Guess I should have targeted the Jill, because they have Graveyard Recursion for it to bounce my token. That's super frustrating, but what can you do? Looking good in the neighborhood. Ice Flying's a good draw, but our Ring the Lucy can just keep stunning that. Honestly, not actually that good on this board. I'll still draw it rather than milling it. That's much better. The 4/4 with no text, actually better than Xenos here, because Xenos is just a 4/4 that also kills some of my cards and none of theirs. I don't remember flash creatures in this set. I suppose those would be pretty bad for me here if I attack like this. Again, I really don't remember any. Oh no, Black Mage's Rod. When I'm ringing myself down. Double combat tutorial top deck. Double Black Mage. Got him at 5. That's why we held on to Xenos. Because Xenos is the 100% must now. Yeah, it's just a forced cast here. Not let these mages stick around. Okay. And I can play the Scorpion Sentinel and still have the ring. They have one card in their hand. I can theoretically lethal them off of tap here if their last card isn't good. But I'm pinging myself when they have the staff on board to do that. Okay, don't have to ping myself for that one. Makes it a safer way to try to get lethal. So we'll do that. It was not a crisp 7-0. It was not a clean 7-0. But it was certainly a 7-0 undefeated run for the return to Final Fantasy. Some sweet stuff from this control deck. Obviously very, very important to have the incredibly bomby finishers if you want to be able to flip things around after surviving long enough. So the best decks in this archetype are going to be the ones that do pick up cards like Xenos or Arden early in the draft. So if you're just getting a bunch of decent commons and uncommons, sometimes this deck can end up just being like solid, average stuff. But if you manage to find the great bombs for it, that will really, really help these kind of control-y decks out a lot. It's a lot easier for like a more aggressive strategy. Think of Boros or Orzhov to just curve out with a bunch of commons and uncommons on curve and win the game with all that stuff. But as you saw in these games, many of these games would have been major losses if I did not have something that just completely flipped the end game, like an Arden or like a Xenos. So these cards are really, really important to these controlling strategies. You have to have something, some kind of haymaker to be working towards, that pays you off for grinding out and slowing down the early game so much. So I will say this deck was a very lucky one, being able to have both Arden and Xenos. A lot of the power of this deck just comes from the luck of the power of the bomb rares we managed to draft in this pod. It's a little bit lower on premium interaction than you would like more Sephiroth's interventions are really good in this kind of deck, blowing whatever you want up and gaining life, so only having the one of that, only like the one fire magic. But there's a bunch of counters here, triple syncopate, swallowed. Yeah, this was some real nice stuff. Obviously getting the full 7-0 here, very fun deck. Very powerful way to return to the Final Fantasy Premier drafts. But again, as I said almost 2 hours ago at this point, so it's been a while, please let me know in the comments below, do you care about Through the Omen Paths? Do I need to keep making Through the Omen Paths draft videos? Or are you okay with me focusing up a lot on these flashback drafts? The tentative plan for now, unless I get a whole bunch of feedback one way or the other, is I'm probably going to start doing 50-50, right? So it'll be a Through the Omen Paths draft one day, and then a Final Fantasy flashback, then Through the Omen Paths, then Final Fantasy, then Through the Omen Paths, and so forth, so on and so forth, for the foreseeable future. Unless something weird happens and things change, like they get rid of the flashback drafts, or they add a really big Through the Omen Paths event. Like if they do an arena direct for it, I will do that, and then those will be the videos for like that whole week. But as of now, it seems like Wizards has absolutely no plans to put Through the Omen Paths at the forefront of anything. So we'll go full variety mode here. We'll flop between the two. for now, and just see how you all feel about it. Change things based on that. But back into today's video, today's draft. That was a fantastic run. That is the full prize out. 2,200 gems and 6 packs of Final Fantasy. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.